Everyone loves it. It's like Seinfeld with witches. And just so you understand the power that this show has, once upon a time, I'm in an emergency room. And anyone who's been in an emergency room that knows that everyone hates everyone in an emergency room. And everyone bands together to hate the nurses. So, everyone's pissed in an emergency room. People are bleeding from their eyes and stuff. Everyone's cursing out the nurse. The nurse comes out, turns on the TV, and puts on Charm. And everyone shuts up. And watches Charm. And it's not like something good was happening. Like, it wasn't like no one making out, no one looking especially good. They were in the movie theater. They were in the movie theater throwing fireballs at a guy on a movie screen because the movie makes things happen in real life. So after seeing this happen, I realized that the show Charm can be used for so many other things. For example, keeping kids in check. Everyone wants to keep kids in check. Put Charm on the TV. I don't know how long it'll work because kids are crazy, but I think it'll work. But the main thing is to stop home invasion. You don't need ADT. Just put Charms on the TV. Anyone who breaks into your house can't leave now. They have to see how it ends. They just have to. So, as you can see, that was unnecessarily thought out. Because I have so much time to overthink things now. And that's the other great thing about being unemployed. For example, Peter Pan. Everyone knows Tinkerbell. Tinkerbell sprays this magic little dust on everyone that makes them fly if they think happy thoughts. But it doesn't just make them fly. They have to think happy thoughts to fly. So imagine what you would do if you thought other kinds of thoughts. Like, what if you were angry when she sprayed dust on you? Then you could just, like, set everyone on fire or something. How about people who've been lonely for too long? They're having dirty thoughts. Now they can last all night long because Tinkerbell sprinkled dust on them. But that's not, I don't just think about Tinkerbell. I think about the same thing that most people think about, or most men I should say, think about when they have too much time on their hands. I think about women. And I try to understand them. And I know a bunch of guys are going to look at me and that's stupid. Never try to understand women. But I try to anyway. And one thing I've learned, you never tell a woman that you're different from other men. Because it's like telling someone you're not ticklish. First they're going to doubt you. They're immediately going to doubt you. And then they're going to test you for the rest of the time you know each other. And the moment you do one thing that shows you're ticklish, or that you're like other guys, then you were wrong. You can't say it anymore. Another thing is jealous women. Now, it's normal for a woman to be jealous, but usually you'll see that women are jealous of, like, other local women. It's okay for you to be in love with the Beyoncés and everything else of the world. And you guys need to call your women out on that, because that's disrespect. What that actually means is that they think that these local women are doable for you, but you'll never have a chance at this famous woman. They're telling you that you're not good enough. So what you need to do is let them know that the only reason I don't have a chance at this famous woman is because they're not local. Because, let me tell you, I live in New York. A lot of famous people live in New York. And the example I'm going to use is Beyonce. Beyonce isn't my favorite woman, but she's close. She's up there. And I feel like going out with Jay-Z, one day they'll move to Brooklyn. I can get to Brooklyn. If I'm walking through the streets of Brooklyn and I see Beyonce, I'm going to smile at her. And because she's famous, she's going to smile back at me. And all men know that once a woman smiles at you, it's on. And I'm not talking about like that awkward smile, like, I'm smiling because I have to. I mean that little cute smile that women do when they like something, where like their knees touch each other and stuff. Because once the knees touch each other, all systems go. Alright. So, I don't really think about women either. I think about children. I'm not a pedophile. I just think about children sometimes because they're funny. And one of the things that I think about is that, as bad as it sounds, we all like bad kids way more than we like other kids. We appreciate good kids because they're helpful and they help us get rest at night. But we love bad kids because they're memorable. From my biggest memories from working with kids are the retarded things that kids did that I'll never forget. For example, working at a camp, I had this kid named Noah. And he always walked around barefoot so that his feet would get strong and he could kick hard. When we used to go to the beach to swim, he would always go to where the little girls were getting dressed because he needed to do research. And these are things that I'll never forget. But you also need to curb these behaviors. And in order to do that, sometimes you gotta beat your kids. And I'm not saying that you should punch them and kick them because that's wrong, unless you're teaching them Kung Fu. Punches and kicks are necessary. But there are spankings, and with spankings you generally use a weapon. Now, I haven't gotten as bad as a lot of people I know. Some people have gotten shoes thrown at them. They've been hit with cords. I don't think that's right. You don't want your kid to have scars on them or anything. You want them to get tattoos and ruin their lives later. So, I think, even though other people think that I didn't get as bad though, I think it was much worse. Because I got beat with the same belt every single time that I got beat. It didn't matter where I hit it. I could have burned it. I'd get whooped with the same belt. And look at me now. I'm a well-adjusted individual. I mean, I went to school for accounting, and I'm here telling jokes. I think that's talent. And but you don't have to use weapons. There's this thing that I like to call the smack spectrum. It's a bunch of different ways that you smack people that send different messages. Now, it's always important to have a wide base, because if you don't smack hard enough, the smack means nothing. So, there's the closed hand smack. You see this a lot on TV. It's the thing that the mother does to their daughter when she's 16 and doesn't want to listen to her anymore. And then she's shocked and then runs out of the room crying. The closed hand smack. Now, the thing that you'll see more in real life is the open hand smack. And that means that I'm frustrated and I kind of want to hurt you. But I'm not going to punch you because that leave a bruise. But step beyond that is the backhand smack. The backhand smack means I don't respect you. You don't see people do this besides pimps, because pimps don't respect you. Pimps use the backhand smack. And then there are also other specialized smacks, like the glove smack. You know this from like Europe and nights and stuff. The glove smack means that somebody has to die. Because that's even more disrespectful than the pimp smack. If someone smacks you with a glove, either they have to die or you have to die, because they just smacked you with a glove. You can't walk around after that. Somebody needs to know what happens. And for people who like the glove smack but don't wear gloves, there's the baseball glove smack. And that means I don't want you playing first base anymore. So before I came here, I was really nervous. And part of it was because the Hoovers have talent. They're up there playing guitars and drums and stuff. I don't play guitars and drums. I'm from the hood. Ooh. I don't have guitars and drums. Oh wait, I also wanted to say that you don't have to hit kids. Timeout does work. My little brother, who's the cameraman over there, I used to stand him in the corner between the wall and the bunk bed, and it made him a great little boy. He's also real muscular now. I don't know if that correlates. But I'm telling you, between the bunk bed and the wall, and right next to a window, so he has some hope of looking at things, but no one ever is outside the window. He doesn't see anything, just a wall and a bunk bed. My aunt told me it was cruel and unusual punishment, but he's still alive, so it wasn't that cruel. Okay, so where was I? Anyone know? Alright, from the hood, the Hoovers. Okay. That was really about embarrassment. So, I went to Facebook, because that's where your friends are, and they're supposed to help you out when you feel nervous and stuff. And surprise, surprise, the only person who said anything was my man Jeff in the back. So it got me thinking about how unreliable my friends are. On my birthday, we're on a dance floor in a bowling alley. They do have those. And I'm dancing, and somebody comes up behind me and grinds on my back. So if someone comes up and dances with you, you dance with them. But then I realized that I didn't feel breath on my back. So I turn around, and it's a dude. And I'm like, he was a friend, so I didn't punch him in the face or anything. I was just supremely disappointed. Because, like I mentioned that I'm in the hood. And growing up in the hood, there are three things that kids are really concerned with. One is stuffing their faces perpetually. Two is having fun. And three is not being gay. And the universal term for something gay is happening is, hey, yo, because that's what you said. And none of my friends said this. No one made a weird face. No one said, hey, yo. So now I know not to trust my friends. But after Jeff gave me some words of encouragement, I had extra time to think about it, and I realized I don't have to be embarrassed up there because I've already suffered tons of embarrassment. It started from when I was really young. When I was about 4, my father walked in with a werewolf mask. I ran under the bed and hid, fell asleep there, woke up 5 hours later. The best rest I ever got, but why would they let me sleep under the bed? More recently, happened at Six Flags, and this is actually one of my most embarrassing stories ever. Now, I've been a big guy for a while, and everyone knows that big guys don't fit on all the rides. They actually have a little test seat for you to sit in that lets you know that you won't fit on this ride. And I didn't see that getting online. But since I stood on the line the entire time, I had to give it a shot, right? So they sit me in the front of this roller coaster, and because the front has the most space, of course, and they sit me there, and the guy comes and he closes on me. And I guess it's supposed to click 3 times, and it clicked twice. And to him, this wasn't a sign that I shouldn't be riding this roller coaster. That meant that I could absolutely fit on this roller coaster. And he was going to screw with everyone. Now, in order for you to get the grasp of this, you have to imagine being in the situation. You're sitting in the front of the roller coaster. You guys are the rest of the line who wants to get on the roller coaster. And this guy is standing on top of the roller coaster like, you're gonna fit! You're gonna fit! You're gonna fit! And I know how embarrassing it was because no one laughed at me. They all looked really sad that this was happening. And in the long run, I did fit, it clicked again, and I didn't fall out. And there's a picture of me looking really constipated. And that's embarrassment for you. So this is just to tell all you guys that there's no reason to be embarrassed about anything. Because the most embarrassing thing that can ever happen to you is pooping on yourself. And we've all done that millions of times. So yeah, it was good talking to all you guys, and enjoy the rest of the night. Also, a little self-promotion. I have a blog. It's called Next Time It'll Be Glass. Look it up sometime.